Jonathan Gavoni here of DraftExpress. We're here with Anas Osama Mahmoud at the Adidas Nations in Houston. Anas, how's Nations treating you so far?
I mean, it's awesome, man. We came here yesterday. The board really welcoming us. It's a good experience and a great pleasure to be here.
What was your reaction when you got the invite, and what does this weekend here represent for you out in Houston?
I mean, Adidas is number one for our university, and when I got the invitation, I was really happy that I could represent my university here and be with the young kids and teach them what we learn in the college and next level. And I mean, it can be more than honor. I'm honored to be here.
We saw you out here doing some really impressive things on defense and changing shots and hedging on the pick and roll and really just putting a lot of energy and intensity into the game. What was your mindset kind of going into this weekend? What were you looking to show? I mean, there's a lot of NBA people here.
Number one is have fun. I mean, it's a camp where we're here with a lot of different people. A lot of people come from different programs and different styles of basketball. It's great for me to come here and learn from all these coaches about a lot of different style of basketball, especially defensive-wise. And I mean, defense is number one thing. We come from, Rick Pitino. We always talk about defense. And coming into the games, all I wanted to show that I can guard people, I can block shots, and just that I can do what they need me to do in the next level.
Tell me a little bit about yourself for people who are watching this and might not know too much about you. Where are you from? When you started playing basketball? If there are any athletes in your family, that kind of thing.
Well, I'm from Cairo, Egypt. I started playing basketball when I was 8. It wasn't a lot of seriousness. I was just liking basketball, but I started playing basketball and soccer at the same time. I took basketball seriously when I was 14 years old. I went to the national teams, played for the African Championship and World Cup under 17. I came here from in America to Orlando, my senior year in high school. I got recruited by a lot of people. I went to Louisville and I've been there for 4 years, and it's awesome playing in America. I don't have a lot. Nobody in my family played basketball. I mean, my dad was a swimmer. My mom was a volleyball player, but nobody actually plays serious sports other than me and my younger brother, who's in high school right now. So yeah, that's about it.
Tell me about your younger brother.
He's 17. He's gonna be a junior this year. He's just coming from Egypt. It's the first year from here in Egypt, and he should be a really good player. He's really crafty. He's shorter. He's not as tall as me. He's about 6'5", 6'6". Hopefully he's gonna grow up a little bit, but he's a different player than me. He's a lot more built than me, so hopefully it'll be a good future. So.
I was at that under 17 World Championship. Was it in Lithuania? Yeah. Honestly, if you would have told me then that you're going to be an NBA prospect now, I would have been like, I'm surprised. I mean, tell me about that progression that you underwent. I mean, did you grow? Did you get stronger? How has that gone for you?
Since then, I grew about 3 or 4 inches. I wasn't 7-footer. I was about 6'6", 6'7". I didn't get that much stronger until I got to college. I mean, when I came to college, I was still 184 pounds. Now I'm almost 230. So getting stronger was in college, but mostly it's just skill-wise. I work a lot on my skills. When we went to Lithuania, we lost, I think, every single game. And that's when it hit me. I was like, well, if I want to make basketball my living, I need to reach that level of these people. And I had to work on my skill game more than a mental game aspect of the game more than my physical, because I can't control how big my body is. I mean, I can eat, I can lift weights, but unless my body gets bigger and heavier, I can't control that. But what I can control is my mental and my skill level, so that's all I worked on after that.
Were you always so agile and mobile? I mean, you don't move like a guy who is, 7'2". I mean, you're huge, but you cover a lot of ground really fast, and it seems like a big part of your game.
I think I wasn't that tall in high school. I mean, I didn't start growing until I was a junior. Going into my junior year, I believe I was 6'2". I played a lot of soccer, so I think that helped me with a lot of footwork, a lot of foot speed, because soccer is all about running and sprints. So I think that helped me a lot to transition that into basketball game. But yeah, I think I've been really agile my whole life, and I'm really flexible as well. I can stretch. I can keep my legs straight. So I think that helps.
How much has Coach Pitino helped you in terms of harnessing that athleticism? Because, I remember watching you early on in your freshman year. You weren't, you didn't have it all together defensively in terms of your awareness and your technique and all that. It seems like that's where you've already made the biggest stride.
I worked so much on footwork more than anything else. Patience and footwork was two big words for me when I came here. Being just like you said, being agile and being really flexible is one thing, but knowing how to use it mentally and physically is the thing that I worked on with Coach Rick and Coach David Padgett, our assistant coach as well. He worked with me every summer, so I work with my footwork all the time, and it's crazy how much you understand in this level how mental it is. Making the right read, the angles that you play in. It's not always about being physically strong, but using that mentally and being smart with the ball is one thing that you have to make sure you know. So,
how do you see the role of, it seems like the role of big men is evolving in the last 10, 15 years. How do you see yourself fitting into, that new style of big men that we're seeing today in the NBA?
Well, the NBA is changing, and I think in basketball in the whole world now, everybody is looking for the three-point shot. The Warriors, for example, they have 4 players on the perimeter and sometimes 5. I think my biggest role would be definitely on defensive end, blocking shots, helping, cleaning the glass, doing the little stuff that a lot of people wouldn't do, and then on offense, just cleaning the glass, getting offensive rebounds, setting screens, rolling, do a little stuff that, when you play with big players like LeBron and a lot of big players, Steph Curry and all these people, you just have to do a little stuff and then eventually you'll earn the respect to play with them and be a part of the team. So.
I was just in Cairo at the Under-19 World Championship, and I was amazed by the level of support that the fans. There were 9,000 people at some games. Even though the Egyptian team, struggled. They won a couple of games, but they were just they loved it, and it seems like there's a passion for sports there. Is that something that is a motivator for you in the back of your head? If you make the NBA, maybe basketball could grow in Egypt.
Absolutely. Basketball is it's coming up. It's up and coming in Egypt. Soccer is taking over the whole world. But basketball in Egypt, I would definitely say it's number 2 or number 3 sport. People don't understand a lot about basketball, but they're willing to support. The national team is there. Just like you said, so our games are always packed, 9,000 people. And I guarantee you 90% of these people didn't understand what basketball is all about. But being there, supporting the national team, and people really love to see Egypt playing, and that's the one thing that collect all of these people together. I would do anything in the world to see my program in Egypt getting a lot better, and me going into the NBA hopefully is number 1 step for me, and then going home and teaching those young people how to play basketball, how to be a professional athlete. That's my goal in the future. So
great stuff, man. Thanks so much.
Bro, thank you.